I mean, if you want to understand the modern world, I would recommend reading all of Dostoevsky. I think of all the modern people, he really understood the age. There were two great, to use the term in a Western sense, not it's not, I don't mean by nibby, obviously, but the two prophetic voices of the West are Nietzsche and Dostoevsky. Nietzsche arrives at disbelief and Dostoevsky arrives at belief, but they both understood the modern world in a really deep way. Dostoevsky, if you take his book, The Underground Man, which is where I would start, The Underground Man is a book about somebody who's just filled with hiqd. He's just a resentful person. He actually begins by saying, if I translate into Arabic, if I was the translator, I would begin by saying, Ana rajulun marid, rabid. Rabid in Arabic is marbid. There's a place where the animals, the sheep go. But the Prophet ﷺ has an amazing hadith where he said that, towards the latter days, he said, يُكَذِّبَ الصَّادِقُ وَيُصَدِّقَ الْكَاذِبُ وَيُؤْتَمَنَ الْخَائِنُ وَيُخَوِّنَ الْأَمِينَ. And he said, وَيَتَكَلَّمَ الرَّوَيْبِضَةُ. And they said, مَنْ هُمَ الرَّوَيْبِضَةُ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. And he said, الرجل التافه أو المرء التافه يتكلم في أمور العامة. So this is kind of an age of the Rawaybidah, and that's what the Underground Man is. It's about Rawaybidah. It's about people that feel like the world's not listening to them and they have so much to tell everybody and nobody appreciates them. It's every person online who's attacking people,
comments.
They call them, keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
That's the Rawaybidah, So, and then he wrote Brothers Karamazov, where Crime and Punishment is about moral relativism and the effects of sin on the human being. That moral relativism is a lie, that the soul is affected by sinfulness. And then Brothers Karamazov is about dealing with the crises of atheism and what an atheistic life leads to. And then he wrote a book called The Gambler, which is about addiction, because this is the fundamental disease of modern people is addiction to these machines, addiction to drugs, addiction to alcohol, addiction to attention, addiction to fame, the YouTube influencers, all these addictions.